Greetings to everyone who will have access to this recording. Today I just want to talk about a powerful state of mind. We live in a world that is full of bitterness, anger, violence, abuse, ungratefulness, and rejection, and many more. Since we are shaped by the environment under which we live, one way or the other we become bitter, angry, violent, including slamming of doors and breaking of appliances. We abuse, provoke, and revenge to other people, including our loved ones. All of us from time to time, we are subjected to these elements that cause pain and sadness by other people and also including our loved ones. The fact is we cannot control other people and situations, but we can control how we feel, react, and how we respond to those who subject us to these situations, or the external environment that subjects us to these elements. This is where a powerful state of mind is required, because it plays a major role, for it creates inner peace, happiness, and it allows us to select what is good, acceptable, and perfect for our own lives and the lives of those around us. I'm not a guru in this subject matter, but because families, including our kids, are suffering, businesses are collapsing, relationships and marriages are failing because of these elements that are happening around us, and they tend to shape us. So I saw it fit for me to address this. Now, as I've said earlier, that we end up being shaped by these situations, I want us to look at one of the authors in the Bible, Romans 2:12, Amplified Classified, stated that, "Do not be conformed to this world, fashioned after and adapted to its external and superficial customs, but be transformed by the entire renewal of your mind, by its new ideas and new attitude, so that you may prove for yourself what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God." Now, even the thing which is good, acceptable, and perfect, which means, in other words, even if you don't call it as good, perfect, acceptable will of God, but it's something with a powerful state of mind, or the renewed mind, you will be able to prove what is good, acceptable, and perfect. Now, looking at number one, the author advises us to not conform to this world or be fashioned by its external customs. Remember now, what angers us, what causes bitterness, what makes us feel rejected is what comes from the outside. So we mustn't be controlled by what comes from the outside. And when we begin to act violently to people, out of abusing others, ill-treating others, rejecting others, it means that we have internalized these external forces. They now define who we are, and we shouldn't be defined by these things. We should be able to act out of these things. It also means that we should not allow the external factors, people's behaviors, and situations to dictate who we become. Number two, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. This simply means we should focus on building a powerful state of mind. It's not an overnight thing, but it requires willingness, and it requires us to be intentional about building a new way of thinking that is free from betrayal, bitterness, anger, and all other things, which means the new way of thinking should allow us to act in a manner that is peaceful, that leaves us with happiness without trading our happiness for these things. Because no one should own our happiness, or no situation should own our happiness and inner peace. We should own it. And for us to own that, we need a powerful state of mind. Things that we actually should all not just watch or listen to gain knowledge, because we already know these things, but we should be revived in acting towards becoming these powerful people with a powerful state of mind. The last statement is that the powerful statement allows us to be able to detect what is a good, acceptable, and perfect. With this perfect, it doesn't mean we weren't going to make mistakes. But the good and acceptable means that after making mistakes, we will acknowledge and own up to our mistakes and correct to become better people. We also should feed our minds with stuff that is positive, with stuff that is good, so that we will be able to have good thoughts and act in a good manner and behave in a good manner. This world is so corrupt. So we need to really act on these things so that we don't become poisonous to ourselves and our loved ones, especially in relationships. That's where we should have, in marriages as well, that's where we should have each other's back without becoming each other's enemies, because the world out there is very dangerous. It needs us as a team. Then we cannot change how people think, and we cannot change the situations, but we can make effort to change how we think, how we behave, and how we act. Thank you.